Hi Pixelings! Today I will be reviewing a very beautiful little game that pretty much took me by surprise. It's called Kulebra in the Souls of Limbo. It's a whimsical yet meaningful adventure where you play as a dead snake helping souls find peace in the afterlife. This game comes from Gaia Games, an indie studio founded by two Dominican brothers, Paulo and Pavel Lara. Their journey from, growing up in the Dominican Republic to going to the US to making games, it really shines through in Kulebra. The world is inspired by Latin American culture with vibrant colors, a very unique papercraft art style, and an emotional story about memory, regret, and moving on. In this review, I'll be sharing my honest thoughts after fully playing and completing the game. I'll talk about the gameplay mechanics, the story, and the little details that make Kulebra, the Souls of Limbo, a very cute, unexpected gem. So grab something cozy and let's talk about the game. So first impressions, when starting the game, my first reaction was how pretty the colors were. They were easy on the eyes and super fun to look at. I think the visuals were really well put together. I love the combination of 2D and 3D. And the music was really nice to listen to, especially at night. I love when it gets hyped up in the dramatic scenes though. Now, for the gameplay and mechanics, I love how versatile and simple the mechanics are in the game. There isn't really a complexity to the controls, so it's pretty easy to navigate. In the beginning, you meet an older lady that kind of helps you with those controls. You pretty much walk, roll, and look at your notes. There are other features, but I don't want to spoil them. It works well on keyboard, but I definitely prefer playing it on controller. It just feels nicer. Also, the puzzles in the games are pretty intuitive, not too bad, but they definitely make you feel satisfied once you solve them. One thing I wanted to mention is that there's a curse in Limbo where every day people forget what happens except for Kulebra, so it makes some interesting gameplay. You have a bar on the bottom that shows the time between day, evening, and night. Once the day is over, it restarts. I thought this would make the gameplay a little bit difficult, but it actually helps progress the story seamlessly. The game automatically saves, but you have the option to save it in the pause menu. Also, a heads up, make sure you pay attention to the story because it will very much come in handy. And speaking of story, pretty much the story is about a skeleton snake who enters Limbo and helps souls pass on. There is more to it than that, but I don't want to spoil. You do start to realize it once you start getting into the game and helping these souls. The characters in the story are quite unique, and they definitely left an impression on me as I played. I actually really enjoyed reading the dialogue, and it's usually hard for me to get into stories. One character I really liked was Flora. She was just too cute. So let's talk about the overall feel for the game, a vibe check if you will. In the beginning, it does start off very cozy and calm, but as you get further into the game, it gets a little bit creative, so definitely be mindful. There were times where I actually screamed. But that shouldn't deter you from playing the game because I had such a good time playing it. Even my kids would come over to watch me play it, and I would tell them about what's going on and stuff. And it was fun. I feel like the game is kind of like a one-shot unless you want to get all the achievements you might have missed. I personally 100% the game because I just loved collecting the bottles and learning about the different souls. The only cons that I really have is that sometimes there are some touchy subjects, which is, expected when you're navigating helping souls pass on. But also, it was kind of hard to control Kulebra when he was spinning. But I think that's a skill issue. Anyways, to conclude, I absolutely recommend this game, especially for those who like a good story and a little bit of adventure. I went into this game without knowing too much, and it exceeded my expectations. I am so happy that the devs gave me a chance to play and review it. So definitely check out Kulebra and the Souls of Limbo. Hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely like and subscribe, and leave a comment on if you would play this game or not. Alright, see you next time. Bye!